Where did your toys play as a kid?
On the floor.
Always?
There was one time where in the Yarrow house that we lived in, in the crawl space before my dad made it his bunker, and we were smaller, we would go down there and play. And it had like 2 shelves all around it, and then the floor was dirt, and we would play Legos down there all the time. In the Yarrow house, in my massive wood room, I had a rug in the corner by the windows, and that's where I would play.
Oh, okay.
But I would play with like Polly Pocket at that time, I think.
Oh, sure.
And yeah, there was a time in New Mexico we had a car mat. It wasn't carpet though. It was like vinyl or like plastic, but it was I would love to have that car mat back.
Really?
Yeah. It was so good. It had houses on it that you could park in the driveway. It had parking lots, all that stuff.
Huh.
And that made a big difference for me.
I don't know if I'd like
mat,
the vinyl though.
we put the vinyl on carpet. So that did make it better.
Okay, I could see that.
But also the ground was like rug carpet. It wasn't nice carpet. Where did you play with your toys?
I think as a kid, a lot of the times it was the floor as like the base, but then I'd use my bed or I'd use bookshelves for different, I guess, set pieces or environmental pieces. I remember having figures climbing up bookshelves as if they were cliffs or fighting on like throwing them on the bed. Or I played a lot on my bed too. That was like a big location for my play.
Yeah.
And then there would be times where like growing up, we had this antique farmhouse set, and it was a silo and a couple barns and made out of wood and probably lead painted aluminum or something.
Yeah, I had like, it was this massive square. It was almost like a wood tray, and it had on it a stable for horses.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but the horses were like the mini horses. But I think I got that as a hand-me-down from somebody, but I loved it. I loved putting my horses in the stables and stuff.
Back in the days when Toys R Us existed and was good, and Hasbro wasn't as ridiculous as they are now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It was good times. Did you ever have a Barbie Dreamhouse?
I think I did. Or I at least remember having this like 3-story pink thing. I don't remember too much about it though. Like I don't know if I had the slide. I feel like it probably had an elevator. But I had a neighbor friend that I think probably had a Barbie Dreamhouse, and I was very jealous of it.
Yeah.
No, she just had her whole playroom I was jealous of because her dad like owned a car dealership, and they just had a whole playroom of toys. And so I actually had a lot of friends like that in New Mexico now that I think about it. Because I had another friend who was an only child. She had a playroom filled with 2 things that I think you will actually know and care about.
Okay.
One of them, she had a ton of accessories for American Girl doll.
Okay.
And 2, she had like an entire Playmobil city.
Whoa.
The whole room was like Playmobil. And
That's crazy.
Loved playing.
That's
with
wild. Her. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Now, I remember growing up, and this is so off topic already, but I'm here for it. When I was a kid, there was always a fight between me and my friends on whose house we would hang out at because we never wanted to play at our own house because those were our toys. Did you have that same fight with those friends, or did they acknowledge that they had the better play set up?
I don't remember fighting about it. Maybe in my like later preteen years, my friend and I, we would just go back and forth between houses for a couple of nights. But I definitely like wanted out of my house.
Yeah.
So I would be like, can we please stay at yours? But then she would want out of her house.
Yeah.
And so we'd go back and forth. But I now that I think about it, I don't know if I had good enough toys to entice them. So I don't know if it was ever a fight.
That makes me feel a little bit better about my childhood, actually.
I mean, it's not like I didn't have good toys. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, I did.
Yeah.
But in comparison to their playrooms,
Yeah,
which
that's
I
fair.
did not have.
Yeah.
I mean, mine were always like experiential. Like my family had a boat, so people would want to come with us to do the boat. Or I actually don't know if we ever let anybody else. At least I don't have any recollection of somebody riding in the go-kart that we had.
Oh, okay.
Because we had like an actual go-kart that could ride on dirt and up hills and stuff. But yeah, I don't.
Huh.
I mean, I know I had friends over at my house. I know I had sleepovers and stuff.
Oh,
but
sure.
as far as
But
playing
you
with
didn't
toys,
have to do the debate every time you hung out.
I don't think so.
Interesting. Huh. Yeah, because that was like a staple of my childhood.
Was yours also like, we want to hang out because you have like 11 million people in your house?
Like
we wanna hang out with you?
I think a lot of the times my friends genuinely wanted to like either get out of their house or to play with whatever was at my house. And then I was the same for them.
Yeah.
And so we would just argue about, no, we should go to your house. You've got blah, blah, blah. And they're like, yeah, but you've got blah, blah, blah. And we were just kind of bored with our stuff, but wanted to play with their stuff.
Yeah.
I remember that a lot.
Yeah, that makes sense. I definitely was jealous of a lot of my friends' toys. So I loved going to their house, whether they were there or not. I was like, I just want to play with your toys.
Well, and I think one of the things that I think Barbie Dreamhouse actually has to its benefit or to its credit is that it is a pretty spectacular toy. If you have the Barbie Dreamhouse, I think even today, there's a part of, I think, anybody who sees it who wants to play with it. And even as an adult, I think it's really intriguing. I want to push all the buttons. I want to look at all the structure. I think it's pretty cool. And the idea of today's episode is to talk about our Barbie Dreamhouse if we were to design our own, which is different than our dream house because that one's way more boring.
Yeah. I mean, we would love to get a new house in the next 3 to 5 years. And I could give you a huge list of the specs that I'm looking for. But I don't think our podcast listeners would care about that. So I think they'd rather hear about our
If they want to hear about
Barbie
mortgage
Dreamhouses.
rates, they can go to another podcast.
Yeah, I'm sure there's one.
Okay, so your Barbie Dreamhouse, I think, has to have a slide.
Yep, I know where mine would go.
Has to have like 3 stories. And probably minimum 10 rooms. Okay. We don't have to talk about all 10.
Okay.
But I would say that is like the staple of a Barbie Dreamhouse.
Okay.
Elevator, I think, is have included. It or not. Oh, included? You think that's a requirement for a Barbie Dreamhouse? I'm okay with adding it. You have to have an elevator, but it doesn't have to be ADA. In fact, it really shouldn't be.
You can only fit one person standing up with their arms closed.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm not sure the Barbie Dreamhouse you could fit more than like 2 people in that elevator.
No, I don't think you could either.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So you already know where your slide would go. Where would it go?
Okay, well, as we were talking, I thought of another place too. But I've seen this on Instagram Reels, I think, where somebody put a slide into their kitchen island that went, like it was a trap door or a secret door in the kitchen island. And then it was a slide down into the basement.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that was one of my thoughts. Or second thought is I would have one parallel to a spiral staircase.
Oh, man. Like, would it spiral with the staircase?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Like, it would just, it'd be right next to it. So people could walk down the stairs if they wanted to be lame, or they could take the slide.
Is it an open slide or is it a covered slide?
It's an open slide on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. That would be really interesting. I would have never thought to put a spirally slide on the outside of a spiral staircase.
Yeah. Where would you put your slide?
Well, you just presented me with 2 options that I hadn't thought about, like a hideaway slide I hadn't thought about and the spirally one. So I'm kind of reeling on that one. My thought would be it's always cool when the slide goes outside of the building. So like at Wits End, where the slide goes out of the building and then you come back into the building, even though it's enclosed, so you don't know that.
Yeah.
I think that's still
Except
really
in
cool.
varying weather temperatures.
Yeah, that's true. So I think mine would probably go outside and then come inside,
Okay.
and would be enclosed, probably with glass on the top because it's a Barbie Dreamhouse. I can make it however I want. Engineering doesn't matter. And so you'd be able to see outside as you're going down the slide, and it'd probably go from the top floor all the way down to the bottom floor, and probably
What if it had like a plateau at each floor so that you could get off at the second floor if you wanted to and then keep taking the slide
well, I was thinking
down?
too, like it would be a mess in real life, but since it's Barbie Dreamhouse,
Yeah.
I'd want to have an inlet on every floor to the slide because you're going to take the elevator up. You're not going to take the right.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
if you go down to the bottom floor and then go up one floor, you had more fun.
Yep. An inlet in my dream house.
Mm-hmm.
I would have, so kind of like City Rock, where our kids have climbed, where they have like the netting that you can climb on.
In like 3 tiers too.
Yeah. I don't know if I care about the 3 tiers, but I'd essentially want that netting or like a hammocky situation high up in my house. And I would have a slide coming out of that. So that when you're up there, you could slide.
Yeah. That's a good one.
To get down rather than climbing down.
I'd have my netting be in a sunroom area so that you have like open windows above you.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
That'd be so much fun.
Yeah. And lots of pillows so you could lay down on the netting, but it'd be really comfy. Another element that I was thinking of that would be really important to my Barbie Dreamhouse would be the closet from Princess Diaries 2.
Is that the one where she walks inside and it's just filled and it's like its own huge room?
And things move and the drawers open automatically or like
the remote control that opens up the drawer of jewelry.
Yeah, and then like a rotating thing of clothes. I think Hannah Montana actually had a really good closet too. Like her Hannah Montana closet one. It was like a dry cleaners and then it would just go around. I would have that.
That's pretty cool.
That would be a requirement of my Barbie Dreamhouse.
My requirement would be a library that is like the
Beauty and the Beast
library, but that had hidden doors in places.
Ooh, I like that.
And you could like go into like several different reading nooks that are hidden behind bookshelves. Mm-hmm. And so you have like 3 private reading rooms within the library, depending on.
You could almost like theme them and have it like Harry Potter music.
This is
playing.
your fantasy room. This is your sci-fi room. This is your modern room.
That'd be so cool, man. I'm like, I just want to go to these houses.
I know, it sounds like so much. Well, and I think as I look back on my childhood, I still do this with D&D, where we're using little minifigures and either drawing something on a mat or now we're using like foam terrain pieces, which is way cool. Feels more Barbie Dreamhouse toy using that. But as a kid and with D&D, there's a huge part of my brain that has loads of images and visuals of as if I was in that environment or in that space. And I've been trying to pay attention as I'm playing D&D as an adult because I have the cognitive ability to think about this. When is that happening? Like, am I looking at this mat and seeing those things?
Yeah.
Or not? Like, where are those images coming from? And I think there's like this duplicity for me of some of it's happening in the moment as I'm playing, where it feels like I am in that environment. I'm seeing it through these little toys' eyes. And then I think a lot of it actually happens after I sleep.
Oh, like you're transported to the world you were just playing in?
Well, I think just the way that my brain encodes the experiences comes out super visual and experiential. Cool. And so I can like picture, I think the same thing is true for reading for me. Or like after I sleep, there's just this vibrancy to the visuals. And so it's cool as a kid when you have something like the Barbie Dreamhouse because you're playing with these Barbies or dolls and putting them down the slide and up the elevator. And it's so easy to miss that there's a part of your brain that's actually picturing being that Barbie.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. I was trying to think of another element that I would want. and this one is going to seem counter to my personality.
Oh.
But I think it would be amazing. So in one of my 10 rooms, it would be white and would be a craft room.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, see,
it'd be a white craft room?
Well, everything in it would be color. So
I see.
The walls and the drawers and everything would have to be white. But I'd essentially have like a wrapping paper or present wrapping station where all the wrapping paper's on rolls and you can like rip it, and there'd be bows and ribbons that you could make. And then, I don't know, I don't do a ton of crafts right now, but I like the idea of crafts. And I love the organization, like think the home edit.
Yeah.
And just all the color. Like that would just bring me joy to have like essentially a rainbow room.
Yeah.
But for whatever I wanted to do. Or even like painting, which I don't paint right now, but I could probably have like an easel with a paint by numbers, like overlooking.
Oh, yeah.
A window or out looking out of a window. That is one thing in my dream house, though. It would have to be a lake house.
Obviously.
It would for sure be on a lake.
Yeah, you don't need a pool.
I would have a boat and 2 jet skis and like even a pontoon boat. I don't know if I care about a sailboat. Sorry, parents. But I'd for sure have a whale tail boat.
Yep.
I'd have all the toys. I'd have like
does Mattel or Hasbro make Barbie?
Mattel.
Mattel. You're making Mattel real happy right now. All of their merchandise. You're just, I want that. I want that. I want that. I want 2 of those.
I would have a tree with like a tire swing or a swing that you could leap off of to go into the water. Have a really nice dock that doesn't give you splinters.
Yep.
That you could run and jump off of.
Yep.
And probably have like a little floating island, bouncy trampoline thing.
Oh, cool.
That's in the water.
Those are fun.
I'd have hammocks
so basically
in the trees.
Everything that a summer camp has, you would have in your personal dream house.
Yes.
Love it.
There would probably also be like a pickleball court. Haven't even played pickleball yet, but I want that.
Does that count as your dream house, though? Because it sounds like we've kind of stepped out of your dream house.
Oh, no, this is on my property.
Oh, on your property.
Yeah, your house
the
is
dream
not just
house
your house.
estate.
Yes, it includes your backyard, and that would be in my backyard.
That's your backyard.
It's massive. This is my dream house.
I love it. I love it a lot.
I'd have like a 4-car garage with some cars in it.
Yep. Some cars in it. I want this jet ski. I want a whale tail and some cars.
I haven't been. Yeah, it just doesn't even matter. No, I think I'd probably have like I think I would probably have like a Ford Bronco, but one where the top can come off. So I would have like a convertible, but it would still be like an SUV. I don't know. My dream cars are very practical. So it's like, I mean, not so much the Bronco, but I'm like a Toyota RAV4.
So boring.
Yeah, I don't have any fun cars.
I would have a Batmobile.
A Batmobile.
And I would have a tank.
Wow.
And I would have a car that converts into a boat when you drive into the lake.
That would be
Those
dope.
would be my 3 cars in the garage.
Well, see, all of my boats would probably have to fit in my garage.
No, you have a dock. You're fine. You have an estate.
I have a garage on my dock. Well, where the boat lifts up, you know?
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Yep.
This is my dream house.
Good on you. Yep. You're dreaming big.
You don't want the boat to just be sitting in the water. Then it gets all mossy and gross.
Yeah. Algae.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I meant.
Yep.
Okay. I've given you.
The algae only grows on the north side of the boat.
No, that's the moss. Okay, so I gave you one of my rooms and then my expansive backyard. So you got to offer me something here. What would you have?
I think I'd have a basement with a dungeon in it.
But not literally for locking people up.
No.
You got to clarify.
Yeah, sorry. For D&D stuff. Like it would be a playroom, game room, board games, like a whole library of it.
Yeah.
All super fun stuff. And then I'd probably want, and I would have wanted this as a kid too. So this is not just my ancient 31-year-old coming in to play, but I would want a really elegant, stately study with like the leather chairs and
desk.
couch, oak desk, and the globe with all the alcohols in it that you open up. And
the globe opens up. I haven't seen that.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
I'm pretty sure Mr. Gilmore has one in his house. Like, it's one of the things that he would probably have.
Oh, sure.
Actually, he wouldn't have it in his house. He'd probably have it in his office.
No, I feel like he had a really nice
just
study.
a little cart.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd have that. I'd have a study. Really stately, really elegant. Wood everywhere.
Yeah.
A couple like fancy books that you don't actually read. They're just like, oh, this book is actually worth blah, blah, blah money.
Sure.
And is a first edition signed by the
Yeah.
It'd be those books.
I was thinking of another element that I would have that's going to sound lame to a lot of people, but if you're a mom, you're going to get it. I would have it like a laundromat level laundry room.
Oh.
Like I'd have at least 2 or 3 washers and 2 or 3 dryers. And there would just be like places I can hang clothes and iron them and organize stuff. And it would all just look cute.
Since we're going to practical rooms, I would have a bathroom.
But that's good.
Yeah. I don't know if the Barbie Dreamhouse actually has a bathroom.
They might have, well, maybe.
I know they have a shower, which is really where my brain went.
Yeah.
Because I think my Barbie Dreamhouse shower is
A rain
natural stone for the walls and then like a really nice stonework for the bottom, but it feels completely flat and level and all that. But it would have 3 shower heads, one on each side, and then one on the top is like a rain down shower head. And then it would have like benches on the sides to like sit in and just steam.
Yeah. Oh, a steam shower. I don't know if I care about a clawfoot tub, but I would for sure have a massive, nice, probably tub with jets.
Why not have a clawfoot
jet tub
jacuzzi huge tub?
Great. I'll do
Go
that.
for it. I mean, if you're going to have the dock with the elevated boat racks.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Why not?
Well, I just don't know if I care about the claw feet. That was the main thing.
Okay,
it's not that it's not possible. It's that I'm like, do I care? I don't know. But actually, now I'm thinking about it, it would sit like isolated. It wouldn't have claw feet, but it would sit isolated in like a little alcove by a window.
Yeah.
And it's one of those tubs where it's flat and then goes up at an angle.
Oh, interesting.
And I don't know, just like a nice loungy tub.
Yeah.
That would be in my Barbie Dreamhouse. Yeah.
Okay. You have to give me, because we've gotten kind of practical and boring with some of them. I mean, they're exciting to me.
You'd have a bidet.
I would have a bidet. Yeah, but that fits under boring. It wouldn't be boring in a Barbie Dreamhouse, though, because if you had a button that you pressed and water shot out of the toilet, you'd be pressing that all day long.
Sure, you would. I feel like, okay, whatever your next question is, I feel like we should try to like rapid fire. Like,
oh gosh, okay.
It'd be hard. Maybe you can edit it to make it go quickly if we can't get our thoughts together.
We have to go extreme.
Okay.
Super fantastic, wild out there Barbie house.
Okay.
Accessories or rooms or elements.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Instead of an elevator, you have a tube system.
That would be so cool. Like the mail?
Yeah.
I love those things. That's so cool. I'm going to say helicopter landing pad and a helicopter.
Dope. The driveway for the garage actually goes down into the garage.
Yes. Yes. I want mine to be a smart house, like the movie Smart House.
Makes your smoothies for you.
Yeah. Like stocks my fridge. Makes dinner.
Android butler. Because that sounds great.
Yeah, absolutely. Human butler.
Nah, Android's cooler because then they can fight off the bad guys.
Okay, because there's going to be bad guys?
Yeah, the orcs are coming, obviously.
Sure. Like the movie Casper. I'd have a machine that like did my hair. You know, like that chair that goes down and it like shaves his face and does his hair and stuff. I'd have that.
Sound of Music double stairway up to the second floor from the entryway.
Yes. Oh, ballroom.
Oh,
I would have a
nice,
ballroom.
a ballroom.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I would have a secondary kitchen that's lower than the other levels and kind of underground, sort of hobbity hole kind of kitchen with like natural stonework or clay around it, and like unfinished wood table and like a pizza oven.
Ooh, pizza.
And a big industrial freezer for ice cream and sweet treats.
Okay, this is not going to make sense, but it's a dream.
Okay.
Okay, because we already established that my house is a lake house. Well, it's also a mountain house that you can ski up to. Like you ski down the hill and you land at my house, and then there's a ski lift from my house
to the top of the mountain.
To the top of the
lake?
mountain.
Okay.
No, the lake's on the other side.
You ski down to the lake.
You can if you go past the house.
Okay, perfect. Great. Love it.
Or there's a tunnel under the house.
Yeah, I can picture the pile of blankets that your mom asked you to put on your bed that is the mountain.
Yeah, if I'm like playing with my Barbies.
Yep.
Yeah, but in the winter, there's snow right there.
Excellent. You wouldn't have like a separate ski lodge. You would have them be combined.
Yeah, convenience.
Love it. Love it. It's not all that exciting compared to all the others, compared to a ski down to the lake house, but I'd have an archery range.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. This isn't going to make sense again.
Okay, great.
Because yes, I have a lake house. Yes, it's also a snow cabin. It also has a pool that has a lazy river. Maybe the lazy river goes around the house like a moat, but it's a lazy river.
See, Barbie Dreamhouse is way more entertaining than Dreamhouse.
Yeah.
If I was rich enough, I could build the Beauty and the Beast library.
Yeah.
Can't do anything on your house, though.
You could probably build me the Princess Diaries closet.
Yes, I'm saying the location and the pool. And,
I
love it.
It's in
That's great.
Dreamland.
Yep, it's perfect.
Give me something else of yours.
I think I'm out of things. I can't think of anything else that I would want in my dream house.
I just want those massive glass sliding doors that can open completely up and like open up half of your house, basically.
Like a Barbie Dreamhouse where you just split it in half.
Yeah, it's like cut and open and just are standing outside all of a sudden.
Yeah. How about this? We'll end the dream house conversation with you have your dream house.
Yeah.
It's all set up. You've put your toys where they need to be. You've got everything set up. When the Barbies go in, what's the first event that they're doing? Like, what are they doing in the dream house?
The one that I just built. With the moat and everything.
The moat? You mean the lazy river?
Lazy river moat.
Is it as big as a moat?
I don't know. How big is a moat?
Pretty big. I mean, it's big enough that invading armies aren't able to make it into the castle.
Okay, then it's not that big.
Okay.
It's like 5 feet wide or something.
Okay, great.
You know,
yeah.
Nice heated water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like an all-inclusive in Mexico kind of.
Yeah. So what we'd do, what the Barbies would do, is they would come in and they would go boating, jet skiing, wakeboarding, all the stuff on the lake. They'd come back for like a lunch made by the Smart House. It would be fancy. And then they'd be like, now I'm going to go sit in the lazy river and read after I pull a book from the Beauty and the Beast library, which I recognize was in your house, but it's also in my house.
Great.
So they're going to go pick a book from the library. They're going to go sit in the lazy river and then read. And then they're going to be like, man, I'm sleepy. And they're going to go up to the hammock part and they're going to take a nap. And there's also snacks there. And they're going to take the slide down. And that's all I've got. I can't think of.
It's great. I can picture how you would play in this dream house. I can picture hours of you playing exactly that.
Yeah.
Mine would be people would slowly start showing up and like being served cocktails by the android waiter, and they'd go to different parts of the house and just kind of relax, read, talk, hang out.
Yeah.
And then they'd have this big dinner that was provided for them again by the android butler, and that dinner somebody would die. Be murdered.
Murder mystery.
And so then they'd start investigating the murder and like chasing after each other. But then they look outside and there are orcs coming. And so they have to defend against that. And it would turn into a whole like battle thing where they're sword fighting in
And one of your characters would for sure go into your secret bookcase room and just read while the whole battle's going on.
Totally. And then they'd come out the very end with a gun and shoot the last orc and take credit for the whole thing. Yep.
I did all of this.
Yeah. Oh, look at all these dead orcs. Glad I was here to help you guys.
I'm going to go back to reading.
Yeah.
One more chapter.
When we read my book about orc anatomy.
We need to have rich friends.
We need to have better toys.
Rich friends provides better toys.
Yeah, if anybody has our dream houses, please invite us for the weekend. We'd love that.
So dope. If my mountain lake house exists. I bet you it kind of could exist, but the water would be cold.
Yeah.
And in my dream house, the water would be
What if
pleasant.
it's a lava lake? What if it's a lava mountain?
Hot springs.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. All I can think of is Dante's Inferno. Did you ever read or watch that movie?
Watch the movie.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a movie.
Or it was I don't know. I feel like the word Inferno is in it.
Did you ever watch Dante's Inferno?
No.
Was that a movie? Some movie about Inferno.
No, for sure. Okay, whatever. People died because lava all of a sudden came into the water that they were in. And then also there was like acid water.
Yeah, that's not Dante's Inferno. Dante's Inferno is about not the layers of hell.
We're going to have to look it up because there's something I watched in high school that freaked me out. And I could not go to anywhere with lava.
I feel like we've hit this point of our podcast where our go talk about this with your person.
Let's just go talk about our show topic.
Yeah, it's just do what we just did. We modeled it for you. Go do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
And I don't mind.
Love people to just share what elements they would want of their dream house.
Yeah.
Barbie Dreamhouse, not their practical dream house.
Yep. This has nothing to do with my lack of imagination and everything to do with my vast amount of love for you. I would love to merge our Barbie dream houses together because I would love to live in your dream house.
You are my dream house.
Oh, that was terrible. I love it.
I for sure want you on my lazy river moat with me.
I want to go opposite directions, and then every time we meet, we put our books aside and kiss, and then float off past each other again.
Bye.
Which also doesn't make any sense because the lazy river has to move one direction, but it's a dream house.
It's sectioned.
Jetted.
No, there's like sections. So one goes this way and the other one goes that way.
Double lazy river.
It has to be practical. I mean, how else?
There's got to be some logical explanation for it.
Obviously. You know what? On those days, my slide, actually your slide, because yours is the one that's outside of the house, it can just move. And so you can take a tube down it and there's water and you can go into the lazy river.
Yep.
That'd be cool. Like
and as you slide down, it changes you out of your pajamas into your swimsuit.
Well, yeah. My first thought was wedgie.
Barbies don't have that anatomy, so they can't get wedgies.
Whoa.
Yep.
What a life. A life without wedgies. I was trying to think about the dinner table topic real quick, and I was like, what if you could see who could come up with the most outrageous element of their Barbie dream house?
Yeah, because my imagination is running a lot faster hearing some of your ideas.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have thought of them.
Because who would win the outrageous here? Is it my moat?
Yeah, I think it's your location.
Oh, my location.
I think your location wins.
Yes.
Yeah.
I win. I'll receive that.
Yeah, you win.
Okay.
So go talk to your people about their most outrageous Barbie Dreamhouse dreams.
Yes.
And then let us know what comes up.